Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of the Blue Mouse Podcast. My name's Emily, I'm the full-time knitwear designer behind the Blue Mouse, and this is a knitting podcast with a little bit of a focus on knitwear design because I design knitting patterns for a living. So it's been a little while. I went on vacation and had a really wonderful time. It was really great to sit on the beach and to knit, and I brought a bunch of books that I've bought for design that I've never had the chance to go through. So I brought a bunch of those so that I could read through them. And typically when I design, I don't refer to books very often because I actually don't find them to be super helpful. And so I went through a bunch of them, and I did find one or two that I've shared before that were pretty helpful, but the rest are kind of, had a couple things in them, but I don't see myself going back to them very often, if at all. So it was nice to be able to narrow down like the books that I will occasionally refer to and the books that I know now are probably just gonna stay on the shelf for a while. But that was fun, and I also brought a couple issues of Lina magazine and Pom Pom that I have bought but never, really read through. I didn't get through that stack, but I did read a little bit of one of the issues of Lina. It's such a beautiful publication. I really enjoy that one. I love their photography style. It's very, moody, I guess is the right way of putting it. I think it's beautiful, and I love the texture of the paper. I know that might sound weird, but some paper in like books and things kind of sets my teeth on edge. It's so, has a weird texture, but theirs is very, I don't know what it is. It's got a very nice matte texture to it. So yeah, it's been a great couple of weeks. I just got a new chair for an early birthday, Christmas combination gift from my husband and my parents. It's a kind of chair that I've wanted for a really long time, and I've talked about it over the years with my now husband, and I didn't expect to get one for many years because they're kind of pricey, but I'm actually a huge bargain hunter. I never like to buy things full price, especially furniture and clothes. I usually try and either find a good deal or buy secondhand because it's just something deeply ingrained in me against paying full price for that kind of stuff. But anyway, so we found this discount furniture warehouse outside of town, and my mom and I went and found a chair and an ottoman for a tiny fraction of what it would cost full price. And so we got it, and in our bedroom, and I've set it up next to the window, and it's incredible, especially now that the weather has turned. Today is the first day where it has felt like fall. Yesterday it was probably mid-90s Fahrenheit. It was so awful, especially in October. Everyone I was talking to, we were all totally over it. But today it's in the 60s, and it's crisp, and it's wonderful out. I went outside to run a quick errand before filming, and I just wanted to sit outside the whole time. I can't wait until we have a house where we can have something like a porch to sit out on. But for now, I'm going to open up the windows after this and sit and enjoy the cool breeze. So yeah, it's been wonderful out. I had to run a quick errand because I'm not a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, and I don't drink alcohol. None of it is appealing to me. I don't like any of it. Most of it gives me headaches, but my one vice is I have a can of Coke every day, and we're out. So I had to run out and get some before I could podcast, so I could get a little bit of caffeine before we get started. So yeah, now I'm excited to get to chat with you guys, and someone last week asked me to stand up more and show you guys what I wear each time and do it a little bit more slowly than I usually do. And the reason I typically do it pretty quickly and only show you from the waist up is that I'm usually wearing sweatpants and then a knit top or something like that because I really don't want to get dressed. But today, probably because of the weather change. I don't know what it is, but I was feeling inspired, so I actually tried. This is the first time I've done my hair since I got it cut a few weeks ago, and I actually am put on a full outfit, and it's actually a handmade outfit, which is really cool. I'm wearing a jumpsuit that I've made and my Lofoten sweater. So here it is. It's slightly cropped. I made this version a little bit cropped than the pattern typically calls for because I wanted to wear it over like skirts and dresses and jumpsuits like this one. So this, you can't really see it because it's all black, but it has pockets. It's a full-length jumpsuit. It's very, very comfortable. I made it in a rayon fabric that is really cheap, and I got it just for practicing, but I really enjoy it. So I'm going to make a lot of stuff in this fabric, and this is the Amy jumpsuit. I'll link it below because I don't know what the designer's name is. And then this is my Lofoten, which I'll show you up close a little bit. Those are the drop stitch details. And the yarn kind of blends together, but there is some fading. So this is using 3 different colors of yarn from Wool and Vine Yarns. And it's been a while since I've made it. I actually made it on vacation in May, or maybe it was April. I think it was May, in the 2 weeks we were gone. So I don't really remember the names, but I'll be sure to link them below. And it was my first time using Wool and Vine Yarns, and I absolutely loved it. Kristen is a gem. I love her podcast. I think it's really, really fun. I was actually just watching that this morning as I was working. So really enjoy her podcast if you've never checked it out. And I should actually probably hurry. I have another kind of, what would you call it, appointment with a local yarn store to go and film another tour. There are 5 local yarn stores in Columbus that I'm aware of. And so I've gone and toured 4 of them and done a video. I only have 2 of those videos out because I did the other tours just in the past couple days and I haven't had a chance to edit them. But I'm doing the 5th one today, and I thought I scheduled it at 3, but I scheduled it at 2. So I'm going to have to run up there and then come back and edit all of this. But I don't have a ton of knitting to share with you, which is probably shocking because it's been a couple of weeks, but the math of pattern writing has caught up with me and I've had a lot to do. So yeah, one quick little thing that I wanted to briefly talk about. I have a separate video that I am putting out about it that I will link if you want to know any extra information. I'm sorry if you can hear some kind of, chirping sound outside. I don't know what someone is doing across the street, but they're doing some yard work or something that is quite noisy. So I hope you can't hear that, and I apologize if you can. But anyway, the thing that I wanted to tell you is that I have decided to open a Patreon account. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like a monthly subscription style or membership style. I don't know really what you can describe it as. It's like a membership style website where you can pay the creators that you love a certain amount of money, whatever. There's different tiers that you can choose from, and you get different perks with each tier or each level. And yeah, it just helps them, or in this case, it will help me keep up with designing. It will help me keep designing even more, and it will help pay for things like Ravelry fees, tech editing fees, yarn for new projects, and things like that. So I've been toying with the idea for a long time, and I wasn't going to do it for a very long time, but my husband and I were talking about it last week, and I've just been mulling over it since then, and I just decided to do it. If you like the content that I create and want me to keep making it, please consider becoming a patron. I'm not going to talk about it in depth here. I'll link to a video that I've made about it, and I won't mention it a whole lot in general, but just if you like what I do, please consider it. But yeah, onto the knitting content. So I have 3 finished objects for you and 2 whips, I believe. So the first thing is a free pattern, but only for the month of October. So I think I talked about this, but it's a free sock pattern that Love Knitting commissioned me to make, and it's free on their website only for the month of October. I will start selling it in my Ravelry store in November, but it's exclusive to them for this month because they're doing something called Socktober. And I'm actually doing an Instagram takeover with them next week, which I've never done before and is actually quite terrifying, but hopefully it'll be fun. I think it will. And I'm just doing an Instagram takeover where I talk all about sock knitting. So I'm going to have people ask questions and I'll try and answer them as best I can. But yeah, this is the new sock pattern. It is called the Juniper Grove Socks, and it's a really simple texture. It kind of looks like moss stitch or a seed stitch, but it's not. It's kind of like an elongated or a broken rib, but it's super simple and memorizable pattern, and they wanted me to create a pattern for beginner sock knitters, so people who know how to knit but have never knit socks. So that's why I chose such a simple stitch pattern. And I did a pretty simple eye of partridge heel too, and heel flap and gusset, and just a pretty normal wide toe. So this is using Debbie Bliss Toast yarn, which is a 4-ply MCN yarn, which is merino cashmere nylon. So it's quite soft, and I don't know how it will hold up as socks because of the cashmere, but it is incredibly soft and fairly affordable. I'd say it's like a medium range priced yarn. It's, I think, $15 for a 100-gram skein. And so with the cashmere content, that's a pretty good price. I'm trying to keep a running list in my mind of like medium or really affordable yarns, medium affordable yarns, and like indie dyed yarns, so that I can eventually put out videos on, what are some affordable options. And I'm trying to include affordable options in my pattern lists now, or in my pattern pages now. On Ravelry, I'm trying to add, alternatives to indie dyed skeins based on what my testers have used. So yeah, that pattern is out for free on Love Knitting, or Love Crafts actually, for the month of October, and you can find it in my Ravelry store in November. And then the next finished object, I'll do that last actually. My next one is a new sweater. You've seen me work on it, and I don't know if I had to restart it since we last spoke, but I had to redo it at one point, and I changed a little bit of it. Basically just changed the ribbing at the neck from a 2x2 to a 1x1 because it's cotton, and cotton yarn does not have elasticity, so it doesn't have any memory really. So when you stretch it out, it doesn't bounce back like wool would, or even acrylic would probably bounce back more. And so when you stretch it out, it just is stretched out. So the neckline on this with cotton yarn is more stretched out than it will be in wool, because once you wear it and it kind of feels the weight of the garment, it stretches out a little bit and it's going to probably stay there. It's not going to bounce back. Like if I made this in wool, the neckline would be a little bit closer, but not too different. So I'll stand up and show this to you. So this is what it looks like. It's long sleeve and it's a raglan shape. And I'll be sharing some photos closer to the release. I got some photos at the beach, which was really fun. But one of my favorite details of this design is it's kind of a compound raglan. So a normal raglan is you increase at one rate all the way down. So the sleeves and the body are increased at the same rate, and it basically creates just a straight line down. But the way a compound raglan works, and I say it's kind of a compound because a compound raglan shapes it in the shape of an S. So you increase really quickly and then you increase slowly, and then you increase really quickly again. So quick, slow, quick. And that's why they call it a compound raglan and an S shape. But mine increases quickly and then slowly, and it doesn't increase quickly again because I don't know, I think this fits great anyway. So it does increase quickly and then slowly, which is hard to tell when I'm not wearing it, but when I am wearing it, which maybe next time I'll wear that as my outfit, it creates a nice shape. It fits really, really well. I love the fit of this. Compound raglans are my favorite fit, I think. Yoke sweaters are close, but I think I've fallen for compound raglans. So yeah, I've already shared quite a bit about this. It's using 24/7 cotton, which is a worsted weight from Lion Brand. And speaking of affordable, that is very, very affordable. And I haven't done the yardage yet, so I don't know quite how much it'll take. But that is off to my editor, so I should be getting it to testing early to mid next week. So once the yardage is done, then I can get it out to people. And yeah, I'm excited about that one. It should be out in November, which is fantastic. And the last thing, or the last finished object that I have, is my Appenzell cardigan, which is out, and there's a coupon code for you below if you want it. So here it is. I'll try and put it on for you. It does not go with what I'm wearing, but you can see it at least. It's a super cozy, fluffy cardigan. It's made using a lace-weight single-ply lace-weight single-ply merino held double with lace-weight mohair, and knit at a pretty loose gauge, so it's pretty fluffy and drapey and wonderful. So yeah, it's open in the front. It does not overlap. You could pull it to overlap, but it's really designed to kind of sit open, and it has fairly wide sleeves, so you decrease really slowly, and then you have fairly wide cuffs down here, which I wanted. And yeah, it's just kind of a staple in my wardrobe. And one more detail that I really, really like about it is it's an A-line shape, so that means that it slowly increases in the front. It's kind of hard to tell at the moment because it's been kind of bunched up in a bag since I took photos of it, but you can see the holes here. Can you see them? Those are the increase points underneath the arms, and I used yarn over increases, which create tiny little holes, which I really liked because I felt like it gave it a really cool decorative look underneath the arms. You can't really tell it's there unless you're looking for it. But yeah, the length options are cropped, regular, and long. So those are included in the pattern, and there's, I think, 14 sizes, which is something that I'm changing up, I think, for future patterns. I've done like 11 to 14 sizes for a little over a year now, and it's kind of become a little too much. So I'm keeping the size range. Don't worry about that. It'll still go up to in the mid 60s up to 70-inch bust, but there will be less in between sizes. So there'll probably be about 8 total sizes instead of 11 to 14 because it's a lot of work. So I've decided to, I think, for most, unless they're very simple, cut it down to maybe 8 to 10 sizes per pattern. But that size range will stay the same, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so that's what the cotton sweater that I made will have 8 sizes. And I believe it goes up to maybe like a 70-inch bust. And this one is also fully charted, which is a huge learning curve for me. But I just kind of powered through and tried to figure it out, and now I understand charts. So that's really cool. It's something I did not understand in the past. I kind of found it super confusing, but now it seemed to click and it makes sense. So the yoke is fully charted for every size, of that pattern. So the sleeves and the body will be fully charted for that. And then it's also going to have like a table where if you want, it's in a separate PDF. You won't have to use it, but I know some people find this helpful. A row by row checkoff list for every size. So I'm going to create that before it goes to testing as well. Kind of like what I did for the sleeves of the Lofoten. So yeah, lots to do for that one. And I forgot to mention, sorry, I'm quite scatterbrained today. I just feel like there's so much to talk about with you guys. And I've missed you. And I have mohair in my chapstick. Anyway, so with this sock pattern, I forgot to mention that it has illustrations for beginners to hopefully make magic loop, heel flap, and gusset socks a little bit easier to work. And I've had some testers say that they found it really, really helpful and made it a lot easier. So that's great. I'm excited about that. And I also created tutorials for how to work magic loop to hopefully make that easier. It's available, the tutorials are available to anyone. They're just already on my YouTube channel if you ever want to learn how to do magic loop, but just so you know, that's included. Oh man, that's a lot. I feel like I just spewed out a lot of information. But the next thing I really wanted to show you is some new yarn that I got from a great friend and an amazing dyer. Allie of Explorer Knits and Fibers was so generous and kind to send me yarn for a worsted weight Lofoten, which is a worsted weight version of what I'm wearing here. So that will be out in December, and she will have kits. I've swatched, but I wanted to show you the yarn, which I think is so pretty. These are totally my colors, and I'm really excited to see how they knit up. So the first color, which will go at the neckline or the top of the yoke, is going to be Mountains at Dusk. And this is her Carlsbad worsted, which is 218 grams per 218 yards per 100 grams. And it's a 4-ply, 100% merino worsted weight. So this is the first color. And then I think I'm going to go into Rose Quartz next. And then I think the next one I'm going to do is Golden Snitch. Pretty sure that is what I'm going to do. So color 1, color 2, and color 3. And I'm very, very excited about this one. And I've got quite the stack, and I've already swatched. So I'm just waiting to get a little bit more finished on current projects before I start this, because I don't want to have too many things going on at once. But I'll show you the swatch. So that you get an idea of what Mountains at Dusk knits up like. So this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. I love it. And I've done a swatch in the round, so I have a ton of loose things in the back. But yeah, I've made a giant swatch. I still need to wash it. But I think I've landed on, what size did I land on? I think a US 8, which is a 5mm needle. And I think that's what I'm going to knit it in. But I'll, of course, have to see how it looks blocked. Because if it stretches out a lot when it's blocked, I'll go down to a 7. But yeah, either way, it will knit up so incredibly fast. This cotton sweater knit up pretty fast, and I'm a slower knitter with cotton, so if it's the same needles but in wool, it's gonna go so fast. So I'm really excited about that one, and I think that's pretty much it. I've shown you this pair of Craggy Shore socks. Still not done, pretty close, but I'll give you more information when I'm done with it, because you've already seen it before in the past few episodes. And I started a second version, or a second size of this, because I had extra yarn. And also because I'm doing a trunk show in, I'm not sure exactly when it is. We haven't picked a final date. It's either going to be at the end of October or mid-November. And that's crazy. I've never done a trunk show before. I'm not sure how it's going to go. It makes me really nervous because I'm I'm not a very outgoing or extroverted person. I'm pretty shy and introverted, so the idea of going and standing for a few hours and talking and meeting people is very intimidating for me. Exciting, but intimidating. So yeah, that'll be at one of the local yarn stores in town, and I'm really excited about it. I need to go get one of those standing garment racks from IKEA beforehand, which is fun. So yeah, that'll be coming up, and that's something to look forward to. And also Vogue Knitting Live is only a few weeks away, and my birthday is in 2 weeks, which is awesome. So lots of good things happening. I'm very excited. I'm actually really excited about the Patreon idea. For certain levels, for all but the first level actually, I'm going to do special vlogs and videos, and yeah, I think it'll be really fun. And I think for the top 2 levels, we'll do polls and you guys can choose what videos I put out on YouTube next. So I'm really, really kind of excited to explore that whole new avenue. And I haven't really done this kind of vlog style video that I'm thinking. So that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you guys will join along with me. That would be so amazing. Yeah, no pressure or anything. But if you feel like you can and you would like to, I'd be so grateful. So I actually have to run. I have to go up to that yarn store to do a yarn store tour. But then I will come back and edit this video with the windows open, with the wonderful fall weather, wind, breeze coming in through the window. So yeah, I'm in a really great mood, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and hopefully you get lots of knitting time and maybe some fall weather where you're at, if that's possible. But anyway, see you next time. Bye.